an umbrella kind of day out there today. We do have scattered rain showers across Kentucky, southern Indiana, and we're going to have heavier rain late today, tonight, and we're going to pick up some stronger winds later today and this evening as well. Some of the wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour, and we could see also about a half inch, 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. Speaking of rainfall, we can go ahead and take a look at some of that rain that we have across the area right off the bat. By the way, thanks for joining the show this morning. This is Ben at 10, your daily weather show for Southern Indiana and beyond. And so each day, Monday through Friday, you can join us right here. We go for about 45 minutes. We like to give you the forecast, current conditions right off the top of the show. We'll check in with comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to give us a good morning. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. And if you have a weather question, that's what we're here for, too. This is your weather conversation for today. All right, so we are getting started here. You can also find us on Extol Weather. That's EXTOL on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube. But a little tour of the radar this morning. These are the live scans. And we've got some spotty, mostly light rain showers. There's some moderate pockets, though. But as you look here up towards Highway 50 in Indiana, North Vernon, Seymour, over to Brownstown, Medora, Bedford, looking at some steady rain showers there. And then Salem, a little bit wet this morning. A little batch has moved through around Austin and Scottsburg. And then we've got a little bit of a break here over much of Clark County, around the Borden, Galena, Knobs area. Harrison County now dry, Crawford County, Du Bois County looking quiet. And as we move over the river and into Kentucky, Trimble County, Bedford, Kentucky, LaGrange, some sprinkles there for you. Quiet right now at the moment in Metro Louisville, so that's good at the moment. But we've got some more rain off to the south, and this is all moving from the southwest to the northeast. So the scattered, spotty stuff that we have this morning, again, is going to be heavier late this afternoon, and we're going to have one, it looks like, line of some more organized showers. Probably not much thunder. I want to just keep it as showers because I don't think we're going to have many thunderstorms, but a pretty organized line. We'll see that with our future cast and our future radar here in just a second. That could bring some wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. I would say from around 8 p.m. time frame is when the strongest line will move through. I don't expect severe weather today, but it is going to be a blustery one as the winds pick up later this afternoon. Not too crazy out there at the moment, though. All right, back to the radar view here. And as I get out of the full screen and I hit the play button, you can see the motion of that drifting from the southwest to the northeast here this morning. So that's the current conditions. But, hey, it is a mild one out there. Our temperatures are starting off on the warm side. We've got numbers here in the 40s and 50s, 47 degrees right now out here at Extol Media Studios. And this is a look at extolmag.com/weather. We've got a couple of fun interactive maps you can play around with, dozens of weather layers here, but I'm going to plop on those temperatures. And again, look at the south breeze that we have. You can see the motion of the winds coming in from the south, and that's got us at 50 degrees in Louisville, lower 50s, upper 40s throughout the entire region. But there is a cold front. You can see that off to our west. That's going to be moving in tonight. We're going to have crashing temperatures overnight as we fall to the 20s. Right now, that cold front is pushing into Iowa and Nebraska, and that cold air will crash in likely around or after midnight, and we could have some flurries overnight and early tomorrow morning and a chilly day for our Friday. So with that said, let's go ahead and bring up the weather headlines here, and we'll get to some of our comments popping in. Rain and gusty winds today for our December 18th. Happy Friday Eve. Grab that umbrella. A cold blast tonight, again, as we fall to the 20s, wind chills in the teens. And then we're going to have some flurries overnight, early tomorrow morning, maybe a couple slick spots to watch for early on our Friday, and then some quiet and cool weather for this weekend as we head towards Christmas time, which we'll look at with the 7-day and the weather models here coming up in just a moment. We are going to have some milder temperatures, still looking at the potential of maybe some 60s on the way for that. And this is just, again, a little peek at some of the flurry potential that we have for the overnight. That is blue. That indicates precipitation in the form of some snowflakes once again. But it is just a one-day cold spell that we have for tomorrow, as we're going to be popping right back up into the 50s for our Saturday. So we've got this yo-yo roller coaster up and down whiplash weather here for us that is a familiar thing in the Ohio Valley. Dennis Gregory has a drizzly start in Bedford, Indiana, and we've got Beverly Hagist popping in from Borden, Indiana. Good morning, Beverly. And Orlean Whitlow with 52 degrees, talking about some mild temperatures here this morning. I think we make it to around 60 later today, so that would make it the warmest day so far this December. Yesterday, we made it to the upper 50s. That was the warmest day so far this December. Did not wear a jacket or a coat. It was very comfortable getting started this morning. And we've got Susan in the comments this morning. Good morning from the Berg. My Scarlet Oak did her dump during the snowstorm, so at least I got the front yard cleaned up yesterday. All right, I got you. Carol Payne, I'll take 60 and rain rather than cold and snow. Yes. And good morning and cheers from Big Happy. By the way, tomorrow, if I remember, I was going to debut it today. We did find a Frowny cup. I didn't. My mom did, and she brought it to my house yesterday. So stay tuned for Mr. Frowny Cat for tomorrow's cup of coffee. Speaking of coffee, we got Perry Porter. Perry Porter's always got that pot going. Pot of coffee, I should say. Mary Dale, do you know when exactly it is going to start raining? It's raining now across the area, and then we're going to pick up more scattered showers into the afternoon, but late afternoon, early evening, I'd say again around 5 to 8 p.m. is when we'll have the heaviest batch and the strongest winds move through our area. But we're going to have scattered showers throughout the day today. Erica, good morning from Charlestown. Thanks for watching here. By the way, guys, thanks for just hitting the like button or one of those buttons, one of those emojis, or sharing. It really does spread us out. You see those numbers really go up, even if you just do that small thing. And thanks for liking or subscribing to Extol, whether on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching from. And Orlean said, yesterday was a beautiful day. Took a walk yesterday afternoon, enjoyed it so much. And I was wanting to get outside and take a walk, but just got busy. And it was a beautiful day out there. Hard to find days like that this time of the year. I did take a walk around the yard because I had a trash can like weeks ago blew into the woods, and I couldn't find the lid to the trash can. Searched and searched and searched. And lo and behold, the lid of the trash can was right by the side of our house where the trash cans are. I just, for some reason, did not see it. And Mary Dale, you are welcome. Speaking of trash, it is trash day tomorrow morning, so I'm hoping, one, I remember to bring the trash out tonight, and two, after the winds maybe die down a little bit. Okay, so I want to go back here to, we'll do a little look outside. We'll look at some more current conditions, and then we'll dig into that forecast. We got weather history, weather jokes, the weather countdown, which has been updated, all the fun stuff here on our Friday Eve. Speaking of fun stuff, there's a look at the gloomy conditions here outside of our Extol Media Studios with cloudy conditions and some damp roads from some passing light rain showers that we've had here this morning. And another look outside here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation camera, fallsoftheohio.org. And look at the cloud cover here. We've got a low-level jet that's going to be cruising through the area. Some of the winds aloft today will be over 60 miles per hour. We don't want that getting to the ground, and we don't think they will, but it is still going to be blustery. But if you notice, those clouds are streaming in very quickly from the south. So these little sprinkles moving through pretty quick, little airplane flying over the city. So there we go. Very strong winds aloft. Thankfully, we don't have the storm fuel. We don't have that CAPE, the convective available potential energy for big storms. So we're not expecting severe weather. That kind of wind energy, though, would be a big ingredient for a severe weather outbreak if we had warmer temperatures. But thankfully, we don't this time around, and we're just expecting some gusty showers around the area. Hey, before we really kick into full gear here, I want to say thank you to our partners here, Ivy Tech Community College, right out of Sellersburg, powering our workforce here in Southern Indiana and beyond. And they're expanding, they're growing. They've got a family scholar house they're building out there, the Baptist Health Urgent Care Center, becoming a hub here in Sellersburg in Southern Indiana, and making it accessible, easy to get plugged in if you want to maybe change your career, start a career, get college credits in high school. Very flexible situation here, and you can get signed up for Tuesdays at the Tech to get one-on-one information 42 and counting different programs. And these 2-year certifications that you can find here, you can just click on there. It'll give you the average starting salaries and how to get started, what you'll learn, how to register, how to pay for college, all that good stuff right there. So you can go to ivytech.edu and just click on locations. I want to thank our partners here at Lyons Roofing. You can get free estimates here online if you have any issues with your roof. These windy, gusty days can sometimes cause some issues and some leaks out of nowhere. We've had it on our roof before. If you have any issues, again, friendly folks here, family-owned, right out of Memphis, Indiana. They got you covered on both sides of the river throughout Metro Louisville and Southern Indiana, 812-294-3595. And you can find more information here at lionsroofingco.com. And if you want to get a quote, maybe you can find some discounts. He can find you ways to save. This is my insurance agent, Michael Long. Call to get a quote, 812-578-3072, or go to amfam.com, and you can search Michael Long, and it'll take you to this page right here. All right. Again, thanks to our partners for allowing us to do what we do right here on the show. There are 2 interactive maps here at extolmag.com. You can see this one has the radar display. I've got the current conditions on here as well. If there are any storms, which again, I'm not expecting much in the way of storms today, mainly gusty showers, but it'll tell you the speed moving northeast around 50 miles per hour. This cell right here, that's in southern Kentucky. So kind of cool. You can be your own meteorologist here with all the tools that we put together here online if you ever want to check that out. All right, let's get to that forecast here for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that stuff right there. But again, we have some spotty showers around the area now, and again, turning heavier later today. And just a reminder, you can always join our team, Advertising Marketing Solutions for your business organization. We've around 2.1 million views over the last 28 days just on Facebook with my content, but it gets a lot bigger than that with the power of Extol Media here in Southern Indiana and beyond. And if you have any weather questions, feel free to reach out, Ben at extolmag.com. All right. Again, gusty winds and rain today. This afternoon, the winds will start to head up to around 20 to 30 miles per hour. When we get this more organized line of rain to move through late afternoon, early evening, that could bring down, or I should say bring up, some wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. And that might, take a few little weak limbs off trees, that kind of thing. Cold blast tonight as it stays breezy, lows in the 20s, some flurries, and wind chills in the teens to get started tomorrow morning. And then a quiet weekend. There's a look at a little snapshot of the flurries early Friday morning right there. So our countdown here today. Winter begins in just 3 days. Christmas in 7 days. And the average coldest temperatures of the year is around January 16th, 29 days away. That is the heart or the dead of winter in 29 days. And then our average highs start to go up from there. Time change in 80 days. Our weather history for today is a lot of it. We'll try to get through it pretty quickly here, and then we'll get back to that rain out there. 1944, World War II time frame here. The ships of the U.S. Navy Task Force 38. 7 fleet and 6 light carriers, 8 battleships, 15 cruisers, and about 50 destroyers were operating about 300 miles east of the Philippine Sea. A small but violent typhoon, which is a hurricane out in the Pacific Ocean, overtook the task force with relatively little warning. Many of the ships were caught near the center of the storm and buffeted by extreme seas and hurricane-force winds. 3 destroyers capsized and went down with practically all hands on deck, while a cruiser, 5 aircraft carriers, and 3 destroyers suffered serious damage. Approximately 790 men were lost or killed. Fires occurred in 3 carriers when planes broke loose from their hangars, and 146 planes on various ships were lost or damaged beyond economical repair by the fires, impact damage, and being swept overboard. I've never heard of that event. That is wild. 1957, an unusually late tornado outbreak for this time of the year struck southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, 22 tornadoes. So tornado outbreak in 1957. 1986, a strong winter storm developed off the coast of New Jersey, moved out to sea, lashed the northeast U.S. with high winds, heavy rain, heavy snow, up to 30 inches of snow in Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. 2018, EF2 struck in Port Orchard, Washington, doing over $1 million in damage. Wild weather this time of the year. Here's your stupid weather jokes of the day. How do you wash your hands over the holidays? With Sanitizer. Why don't you ever see Santa in the hospital? He has private elf care. Get it? Healthcare? Elf care? Why is Santa afraid of getting stuck in the chimney? He has claustrophobia. Claustrophobia. Not too bad there today. Here's the forecast for your day today, your Thursday, December the 18th, a high of 60 degrees. So that's the good part. It is mild today, our warmest December day so far, with 30 to 40 plus mile per hour wind gusts later this afternoon. Otherwise, some sustained winds at around 15 to 30 miles per hour. Our sunset at 5:25, picking up around a half inch to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall by tonight. And falling temps and some falling flurries out there overnight and early tomorrow morning with a low of 28. Wind chills in the teens getting started tomorrow morning. So we're back to the coats for one day. One day quick, cold snap. And then we're back to 50s on Saturday. So a chilly start, chilly day tomorrow. But at least we get some Friday afternoon sunshine with a high of 36 degrees, trending about 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. And then here is that 7-day forecast that takes us through Christmas time. So we got 54 Saturday, and then Sunday a little cooler. A mainly dry front moves through Saturday night and drops us to 43 Sunday, 24 Sunday night, and then highs in the 40s. Cool and quiet Monday. Now, it looks like a warm front will start to lift into the area. That could give us some spotty showers from time to time, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, for Christmas Eve, for Christmas Day. Maybe a few raindrops here and there. Doesn't look like any big storms or anything like that. And then 50s Tuesday, Wednesday, and still looking at the potential of 60s for Christmas Day. So Santa bringing still looks like a pretty good warm-up here on the way. So as we predicted and as we expected, the last half of our December turning out to be on the above normal side as far as our temperatures. And if you're just popping in, we're tracking the rain for you too. I'm going to do a tour of the radar here off and on for our Thursday morning of Ben at 10. And so you can see the motion of that rain moving from the south, southwest to the north and northeast. And as we go to the latest scans here, we've got a break right in the middle. So from basically Scottsburg to Louisville to Elizabethtown, and then east to Frankfort and west to Jasper. We got a little pocket of some dry time. And then we're still pretty wet here on either side of Highway 50 from Bedford over to Seymour to North Vernon. And south to near Salem, we've got some of that rainfall. And as we cruise farther south, another batch of rain moving into southern portions of Kentucky, getting closer to Elizabethtown. And pretty wet here in Hart County and Greene County, Kentucky, around Bonneville, Munfordville, and Greensburg. No thunder with this. This is just kind of regular old rain showers. And bringing up the radar and satellite, the bigger view, the cold front is still out to the west. That is moving into Missouri and Iowa. And there's some flurries on the backside. And yes, indeed, we could see some of these flurries during the overnight as that cold air punches into the region. Here's the center of low pressure, by the way. That is the center of the storm. And if you can look pretty closely here, there are these lines on the map. All right. These are lines of equal air pressure. They're called isobars. And let me get out of the full screen mode here. And so these isobars right here, these lines of equal air pressure, are very tightly packed together, especially near that area of low pressure. And it's just atmosphere that is squeezed between high pressure that is off the East Coast and the center of the storm here that's near the Great Lakes. And in between, you've got what is called a tight pressure gradient. And that means we've got strong winds for today, especially later this afternoon and into the evening time. Speaking of that cold front, so you can see the rain that's going to be on the way throughout the day today, getting heavier and steadier late this afternoon, evening times, kind of spotty stuff out there now. But as we bring up the current temperatures, easy for me to say. So that blue line that you see, that is the leading edge of the cold front, again, moving into Missouri and Iowa. And there's a pretty good punch of some cold air with it that you can see down to 0, single digits, and 20s. So that is our cold shot on the way for overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. We are ahead of that front right now as we can clearly see, in the 50s out there this morning. And then there you can see the sharp drop in temperatures out to our west-northwest that are on the way for tonight and into tomorrow. So that's the analysis of what the current situation looks like across our region and the United States. We'll look ahead here with our future cast here at almost 10:20. We're pretty much right on time as we start to dig into the weather models. This is the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. And we'll start to go hour by hour here for you this morning. And Beverly saying, my son lives in Olympia, Washington. They've had a lot of flooding rain and a lot of wind. I've seen some towns underwater up there. Hope they're doing all right. Beverly loving the weather, the jokes. And Lillian Lazzy with a good morning from Litchfield, 53 degrees there in Grayson County. Lillian loving the jokes and getting some of that rain there in Grayson County. Thanks for that report outside of your window there, Lillian. And back to the future cast. Here we go. All right. We're digging in. Time to dig into the weather models here. How's your Thursday, by the way? Hope you're having a good start to the day. It's an umbrella day. So let's go here to, this is time 0, time now. And we're going to push this to around noon today. And we can look at both of the high resolution weather models. This is we're in no hurry here. This is the NAM 3-kilometer. Notice that line out to the west. That's our best chance of some 40-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. So scattered showers off and on. I'm going to later in the afternoon. This is around 4 p.m. Notice that rain starting to move, that heavier, more organized line of rain starting to move towards the Indiana and Illinois state line around the Wabash River. As we push this to around 7 o'clock this evening, so right around or after sunset, there's that more strong line of showers. It's not severe. We're not expecting severe weather, but some strong winds, again, will be possible with this. And as we look at the winds, just kind of off the deck here that are accompanying this front, they're really strong. You don't see a low-level jet this strong very often. 60, 70 mile-per-hour winds at around 5,000 feet. So you don't want that to translate to the ground. So sometimes you can get storms that take the winds and just shoot it right down on the ground. You get those straight-line damaging wind gusts. We do think there is a stable layer that'll keep those winds aloft. That's what we need to have happen. So we don't expect 60, 70 mile-per-hour winds on the ground. However, as we just showed you, as I just showed you, I guess there's no we here. It's just me. As this line moves into the region, we could pick up some 40-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts as this cruises into the area. So this is around 8 p.m. tonight with the NAM 3-kilometer. I'm going to bring up the HER weather model. It has that line about an hour or two earlier. So there is a little discrepancy here with the high resolution model data that update every hour. Either way, I'd say around 5 to 8 p.m., maybe 6 to 8 p.m. time frame for that more potent line that could pack some stronger winds here for later on today. So this is the HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model at 7 p.m. It's a thin line, but I think we're going to get some pretty good gusts as this moves through. And we can go to the surface winds, the surface wind gusts here. And this has some estimated wind gusts with the weather model data here right along that leading edge. And those are close to severe winds. There could be some isolated damage, like a weak tree, and the ground is pretty saturated as well, especially with that rain today, and that can kind of loosen the root systems a bit. So especially on some hillsides like where I live, sometimes winds like that, and technically winds around 60 miles per hour are considered severe. So you get a severe thunderstorm when winds are in excess of 60 miles per hour. So even if we get winds that are below technically severe weather, below 60 miles per hour, but maybe they gust to 50, that can still do some isolated damage. So can't completely rule that out with these strong winds. So again, strongest winds, I would say 5 to 8, 6 to 8 time period there around dinner time or just after dinner time. And some of the heaviest rain showers as well. All right, I'll clear that out. And we'll bring back the reflectivity. Reflectivity just means rainfall. The radar is reflecting off of the raindrops. So this moves through. Yeah, this is at 10 p.m., that strong line moving towards Lexington at that time. And we're left with just some light precip here on the backside through about midnight. Now, this stuff, I don't have the precip type on yet, but I'm betting that is snow. Let's put the precip type on and see. Yep, we are correct. That is snow right there. So during the overnight, as the temperatures are crashing, let's clear that out. So let's look at the temperature here. So we're going from 50s out ahead of the front here, down to the 20s, back out to the west. And you might hear the phrase flash freeze. I think it's a small chance that there could be some slick spots on some roads. But after that heavy rain moves out, there is a period of time when we have some gusty winds where the roads should start to dry out. The roads will stay above freezing for a period of time as well, since we're going to be around 60 today. But early tomorrow morning, when we're in the 20s and the wind chills are in the teens, there could be some slick spots on bridges and overpasses. I wouldn't freak out about the potential of flash freeze, even though I've already seen some maps trying to freak people out on the good old social media sites. All right, here we go. So again, I don't think we need to freak out about it. Let's go back to the maps and let's go to the overnight period. This is at 2 o'clock in the morning. And this should, there you can see that switch over to a period of some snowflakes, some flurries out there tomorrow morning. We'll go here to around 6 o'clock in the morning. So there you go. Those are snowflakes once again. Our 4th snowiest December on record. And here we go with the potential of some more flurries flying out there. Sun up around 7:30 tomorrow morning, and it has the potential of some flurries floating around out there tomorrow morning. It's going to be bitterly cold to get started tomorrow. These flurries won't last long, and then we're going to see some sunshine return tomorrow afternoon with mid-30s. It will stay a bit breezy tomorrow. So pretty wild 24 hours that we're going to have here. Kind of calm with just a few light rain showers out there now for most locations, but it'll get a little more wild later today. Perry Porter missed the jokes. Listen, later I heard they're pretty funny jokes. I think these are pretty good Santa jokes here, Perry. Let's pop them up for you. Here we go. Let me go full screen with the Santa jokes. How do you wash your hands over the holidays? With Sanitizer. Why don't you ever see Santa in the hospital? He has private elf care. Elf care. Why is Santa afraid of getting stuck in the chimney? He has claustrophobia. Claustrophobia. Yeah, not bad. Not bad for free jokes. All right, there we go. So that is a look at the weather models here. Let's bring it back up. And then that all goes, you can see that big system moving off to the east tomorrow afternoon. All right. Rain and a little snow and a lot of wind, basically, here over the next 24 hours. What's up next? Let's go to Christmas week because we are dry Saturday through Monday. And then we pick up some shower chances around Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even for Christmas Day next week. And just rain chances. So I'm going to jump ahead to, let's just go right to Christmas Eve here at 10:29. As we're cruising along through a Thursday. This shows some shower chances in the region, and I think that's going to be associated with a warm front. And a warm front's arc like this. And if we can get that warm front to lift north, which most of the models do, that means we have the potential for some 60s on the way. So here are the temperatures. Look at that. That would be a warm front, my friends. There's that arc. And along a warm front, some light spotty rain showers. So the rain, not a big deal. We could be back to some really comfortable air. Look at all of these 60s. We've been talking about this for like a week. And nice to see the weather models are still holding strong with this warm up. Notice north of that front, still a little bit chilly there for Indianapolis in the 40s. This is Christmas Eve afternoon, 4 p.m. So Santa is gearing up. And then as we watch these temperatures going into our Christmas morning, so 7 a.m., opening up the presents here. Look at these numbers here for sunrise temperatures Christmas morning in the 50s, 10 to 15 degrees above normal in the early morning time. And then let's go into our Christmas afternoon. And we are on the warm side. As long as we can get this front to the north, predictions are for some 60s here Christmas afternoon, trending nearly 20 degrees above normal for this time of the year for Christmas Day. All right. And that prediction has been ongoing for a while. So then there's this question, and you may hear this on TV stations, different social meteorologist pages, that winter will return in January, and I think it will. I mean, we still got a lot of cold air locked up here. You just need the jet stream to take that dive to the south, and that can open back up that Canadian cold door. And let's see if we can get the jet stream to take a dive here. And since we're going to the long range, it is the Ben on a Limb segment. So this is Christmas, and the jet stream is north, and that means we are on the warm side. I'm just going to go day by day and kind of see what the jet stream does here and kind of back out our view. That is a zonal flow, laminar flow, flat flow of the jet stream across the United States, which doesn't cause many issues. Going to the 27th, a couple days after Christmas, same deal. Nothing crazy going on there. Going to the 28th, we're looking, the jet stream is north. Do you see this? Here's the jet stream diving there, and north of our area, this is the 28th. So I would guess if we bring up the temperature map, we're going to be on the warm side. And yes, indeed, this shows temperatures in the 60s a few days after Christmas. So the jet stream is still on our side if you like the warm weather. I'm going to go back to the jet stream map. I'm going to go to the 29th and watch the orientation of the jet stream here. It's kind of discombobulated. Nothing happening there. I'm going to go to the 30th. Jet stream is weak, and nothing happening there. Going to the New Year's Eve, the 31st. Jet stream is way north. Let's see what the temperatures are doing at the surface here. Kind of in the middle, not extreme. The really extreme cold air is still up in Alaska and over into Siberia and northwestern Canada. We're looking at fairly normal temperatures around that time period. So not seeing a big dive in the jet stream through the end of the year. And then going into the 1st of January, it's kind of an interesting, just non-organized jet stream. This is 4 p.m. January, showing some kind of typical cold, not crazy cold, for the 1st of 2026. Going into the 2nd of January, typical cold. So no big dive in the jet stream through early January. So nothing crazy to talk about through the end of the year. All right. And I want to point out today, I've been talking about that strong line of rain I don't want to say thunderstorms because for the most part, we probably won't have thunder, but some strong wind gusts will be possible around that 6 to 8 p.m. time frame, we'll say. But I do want to point out the Storm Prediction Center, their severe weather risk for today has taken us out of even level 1 out of 5. So now we're level 0 out of 5 severe weather risk. So this shows no risk of severe weather. The fine print, though, with that is there could still be some wind gusts around 50 miles per hour with that line around that 6 to 8 p.m. time frame. So that can still cause some tree limb issues. Not anything major, but maybe some isolated damaging winds with that. Can't completely rule that out. All right, and before we wrap things up here with the weather models, I'm just going to bring up the Climate Prediction Center's 6 to 10 day outlook. And it shows much of the nation warmer than normal for the next couple of weeks. And again, that's what we pretty much just showed you with the GFS data. And then this is the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center right there. We're kind of on the edge of the warm bubble. I mean, they're going to be enjoying like late spring-like conditions there over the Great Plains down south into Texas. So warm bubble of air above normal temperatures for much of the U.S. over the next couple of weeks. So we should not see any major winter storms anytime soon. All right. So with that said, that has been the good old Ben on a Limb segment. Now we're firing back up the live radar sweep here. Looks like we may have a couple comments that have popped in. We've got a good morning from John Fox. Good morning, sir. And Jay Case with a good morning. Thanks for tuning in, fellas. And back to the live radar sweep. We'll do a tour of the radar. We'll get back to a recap of the forecast for you guys popping in a little bit late. And then we'll wrap it up here on a Thursday. So, whoa, I zoomed in too fast there. Sorry about that. All right, so Seymour still has some rain there in the northern sections of Jackson County, Indiana. It looks dry now for Bedford. Over to DuPont. So we've got some dry time over much of southern Indiana right now at the moment. Scottsburg, Austin, Crothersville, Salem, New Pekin, Madison, Charlestown, Greenville, Milltown, Paoli, Mitchell, all dry. Louisville Metro is dry. And we're dry from LaGrange to Shelbyville, Taylorsville, Shepherdsville. But as we move south, we've got another batch of rain. This is moving from south to north. So don't expect it to stay dry if you're dry right now, as this will be filling back in as it's now wet again around Elizabethtown and Hodgenville. There for Orlean. Got rain outside the window there for you around Raywick and western Marion County. Starting to move into Washington County. Bardstown about to get wet. There you see the rain stretching down to Greensburg, Greene County, near Campbellsville. Steady rain over Hart County, Munfordville, Bonneville, over through Grayson County. There's Lillian Lasley with the rain report here in Litchfield and Grayson County, and that rain spreads up north over the falls of the Arruff into Breckenridge County. A good little pocket of some rainfall about to move through Hardinsburg, maybe the Irvington area. That'll spread into Meade County as it travels north. And then you've got rain now spreading into Ferdinand and Jasper and into Du Bois County. And so we've got scattered stuff across the area. And we've got actually a blue sky peeking through there. Hey, we've had some light rain move through New Albany this morning. This is a live look outside of our Extol Media Studios here at Vincennes and Market, and mostly cloudy sky, but we've got this little hole in the rain right now before it fills back in. Nice to see at least a little bit of sunshine out there. And we've got Orlean Whitlow with that report, the ground truth from the radar with some light rain there. And Mary Dale, you're very welcome. You have a great day too. Thanks for watching. Steve Givens wants a repeat of yesterday. Well, at least the temperatures will be on repeat as we're up around 60 today. Unfortunately, you're going to be using the windshield wipers, umbrella from time to time. And then we've got that kind of strong line of gusty showers that'll move through during the early evening. Lillian Lasley, you have a great day as well. And Orlean liking the break in the cold weather. We've had a rough start to this, not even winter yet, but December. I saw some post yesterday. I forget what it was. Like, what a tough winter it's been, or something like that. I'm like, it's not even winter yet. And Erica Risotto with the report of some sun peeking out in Charlestown. Sun shining now there for Marydale and New Albany. And another cheers to you guys before we do a recap of the forecast with Big Happy here. But tomorrow, I'm going to try to remember. My mom found a frowny cup. I'm going to try to break out the frowny cup on crappy weather days. So stay tuned for Frowny Cat coffee cup tomorrow. All right. Here we go. Let's do the forecast. Let's get rid of the radar. We did a tour of that. Okay, rain and gusty winds today for your December 18th. Cold blast tonight and flurries overnight and early tomorrow morning. Maybe a few slick spots to watch for early tomorrow morning. And a quiet weekend here for us with just a one-day cold shot Friday. Then we're back to 50s Saturday. There's a little snapshot of some of the flurries overnight and early tomorrow morning. Don't be surprised by that. Winter in just 3 days. What is that? Begins on Sunday with the winter solstice. Average coldest day of the year in 29 days. So that's mid-January. It's typically the coldest part of the year. And our time change in 80 days. We had a bunch of weather history. I'll put that up at noon if you want to take a longer look at it. And we already did our stupid weather jokes of the day, so we'll move through that. And that'll be on at noon on my Facebook page too. So the forecast summary today, scattered rain, gusty winds, heavier rain, late afternoon, early evening. South winds sustained at 15 to 30 later today. Some wind gusts could push over 40 miles per hour. High temperature at 60, about 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Crashing temperatures tonight, low of 28, wind chills in the teens. Bundling back up if you're out early tomorrow morning with maybe a few flurries out there. And it will stay a bit breezy tomorrow morning. We're looking better, but it's chilly tomorrow afternoon. We should have some Friday afternoon sunshine with a high of 36. And then we're down to 28 Friday night. 54 for Saturday, 43 Sunday. We have a kind of a dry front moving through Saturday night. There might be a sprinkle with that. That'll drop us about 10 degrees to 43 Sunday, down to 24 Sunday night. And then normal temperatures on Monday. And then we're back above normal as we head towards Christmas time. Christmas Eve, 58, and then lower 60s still in the forecast for Christmas Day. And as we saw with the long-range data, past the 7-day forecast and past Christmas time, we could still be generally on the cool/mild side and no snow or winter storms through the next couple of weeks to get us through into early January. I want to remind you as well, at any point in time throughout the day, you can get your weather resources here at extolmag.com/weather. I've got a live stream up right now. And again, thanks for just hitting the like button. That helps spread the show throughout the interwebs and the social media. And if you have any weather questions, you can always drop it in the comments. We're at 49 degrees here at the Extol Media Studios. You've got your daily weather forecast to take you through Christmas time. We got the hourly forecast here on your right side, 7-day forecast that I posted, the brand new weather story, other weather maps here throughout the region. And looking at the interactive map that you can play around with. It's got radar, it's got winds, it's got future cast, it's got all the fun stuff. So it's got a radar loop that you can see right there. It looks nice and smooth. And then if you go to the rain and thunder layer, you can hit play on the bottom left corner. And this shows you the heavier rain moving in later today. That there is this evening. It moves on through. And then moving in a couple flurries during the overnight. And then just chilly for tomorrow. So a lot of tools and resources. Play around with the layers here and be your own meteorologist. Another live look outside here. Our final look here with the Falls of the Ohio.org camera. Falls of the Ohio Foundation cam right there. And I want to thank our partners once again for allowing us to do what we do right here on Ben at 10 every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Ivy Tech Community College right there in our backyard in Sellersburg, becoming a community hub with, again, their Baptist Health Urgent Care Center they're building out there, Family Scholarship House, really making things accessible and easy to plug in here if you want to level up your career, start a career. You can see all their different programs that they have to offer. You can click on the Sellersburg location. Tuesdays at the Tech, you can sign up for one-on-one, face-to-face help to get registered, to get started for career coaching, financial help. And you can see, again, all the different programs that they have to offer right there. I want to thank our partners, too, at Lyons Roofing, Lyons, family-owned right here out of Memphis, Indiana. But they got you covered on both sides of the river throughout Louisville Metro and Kentucky and Indiana. 812-294-3595. Hopefully all of our roofs are just fine with some of the strong winds this evening. But if you see any issues, any water spots, any gutter problems, here you go. Here's a resource for you. Free estimates online, lionsroofingco.com. And if you want to get an insurance quote, you might be able to find some ways to save here with my insurance agent, Michael Long. Give him a call, 812-578-3072, or you can go to amfam.com and search Michael Long, and you'll find his page right there. All different types of insurance. He's got you covered. So, again, thanks to our partners there. And thank you guys. Orlean saying, now you keep dry today, Ben. As always, I forgot my umbrella. But our last look outside showing at least some peaks of sunshine out there. But don't be fooled. Again, we'll have some scattered rain from time to time. All right, that's going to do it for Thursday here at 10:46. We'll see you tomorrow morning, tracking some flurries tomorrow morning and some cold temperatures. And we'll have that updated forecast all the way through Christmas time with the long-range outlook through New Year's Eve as well. So join us tomorrow morning. Thanks for liking, subscribing. It goes a long way. It really does. And thanks for watching us wherever it is, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web. You guys have a good one. Try to stay dry out there and watch out for those strong winds. I would say the strongest late afternoon, early evening. All right, we'll see you tomorrow morning.